Hi everyone, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening. So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes, then we can start the session. By 8:13 we can start the session. Till the time, if you have any doubt, just make the notes so that we can discuss. Okay. So just wait for 2 minutes, then we can start. So, so let's start the session now. I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We will.
Okay. So let me know if you have any doubt from the Linux, anything from the previous session or previous to previous session. Any question that you would like to ask? Kuch bhi.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Sir, can I explain PID of space Firefox to check the PID value of any process?
You mean to say that how to check the PID of Firefox?
Yeah,
That's PID is PID of space Firefox. That's the command.
yes.
PID of space Firefox.
Okay.
So whatever application process you want to check, that is PID of without any space. PID of then space the name of that application or the browser. That's the command. So
Okay.
so far we have completed our basics, or not basics actually, the moderate level of Linux. Moderate Linux have been completed, like user account, group accounts, the permission part, in permission, symbolic permission, numeric permission, that has been completed. Then the user ID, the PID value, the group ID values, the folder and file, these kind of things have been completed. And we have also discussed about the process. The process part is also completed now. So the moderate amount of Linux part is completed. Now we can work on the Linux. Like we can, if someone gives the Linux to us in the company, then we would be able to operate it. Nobody is going to give you the Linux for troubleshooting purpose, for server kind of purpose, because your job will be to work on the cloud. So Linux will be hosted on the cloud platform. It will be there on the AWS. But if any server level issue comes inside the Linux, suppose someone is saying that my Yum server is not working, so that kind of cases will not come to you. That kind of cases will go to the Linux administrator. Why? What was the purpose of learning the Linux for our AWS journey is because Linux servers and Windows server will be hosted on the cloud platform. So you should have the knowledge how the Linux works, how the Windows works, how we can access that. In case we need to check any process, we need to check the user details, the group details. In case we need to assign any permission, then we would be in a condition to do that, because that is going to be the work of cloud person. But ultimately what the cloud administrator will do in the company, what you guys will be doing in the company. So as a AWS administrator, as a cloud administrator, as a system admin of cloud, means AWS system administrator, as a cloud engineer, these kind of designations you will get. Technical, not technical, system engineer of cloud. These kind of designations you will get, then cloud analyst, etc. So in the initial level, these kind of designations you will get, and what you will be doing on these profile. So you will be working on the AWS console. AWS console means AWS portal. On the AWS portal, there will be resources. Resources in the sense, in the very beginning of the session, in the very first session, I told you that company can have on-premises environment and company can have complete cloud environment. Apart from this, company can also have hybrid environment. If the company is on-premises, then there is no concept of cloud. Everything will be physical. There will be the concept of Hyper-V, there will be the concept of Oracle, there will be the concept of VMware. So physical servers will be available, physical network device, router, switches, firewall, these all things will be physical. When we talk about cloud, as we know very well, in the cloud, all the resources, all the data center will be hosted on the service provider platform. It can be AWS, it can be Azure, it can be GCP, it can be Oracle. When we talk about the hybrid infrastructure, in the hybrid infrastructure, there will be mixed kind of combination. Like some resources will be there on premises and some resources will be there on cloud. Even there can be multi-cloud as well. Means some part will be there on the AWS, some part will be there on the Azure. These kind of things also you will see in the company. And some resources will be there on premises. So we had already discussed this in the first session, that why company go for the hybrid infrastructure, because there are some legacy applications, there are some softwares which does not work on the cloud platform, that does not compatibly work with the cloud. And the second reason is compliance. There are some companies who cannot keep their data on the cloud environment, just like defense companies cannot keep their environment on the cloud. They cannot keep their database on the cloud. Medical services professionals in the US, they cannot keep their database on the cloud. So there are some legal restriction also. So that's the reason the database server cannot be the part of cloud, but rest of the servers can be the part of cloud. So in such situation, there will be mixed kind of environment, on premises plus cloud. So cloud can be multi as well. It can be a single cloud as well. It depends upon company to company. So generally, when you will go to the company, forget about on premises. You will never work on the on premises because you are going for the cloud jobs. So in the cloud jobs, either you will be working on the complete cloud project, or in the cloud scenario, there can be hybrid situation as well. But you will not be supporting the on premises. In the hybrid model, if any issue comes on the on premises level, then again, you are not going to fix that. For that, there will be separate server administrators. But if any issue comes on the cloud level in the hybrid infra, then you are going to fix that. So specifically, you will be handling the cloud. And in the cloud, as we know that we are preparing for AWS role. So we will be only supporting the AWS cloud. If company have multi-cloud, if they have Azure also, GCP also, then you are not going to support that. For that, there will be separate engineers in the company. Now, what will be your role? So on the cloud portal, on the AWS portal, there will be resources. Resources means company's server will be created on the AWS portal, on the cloud portal. Company's networking part will be there on the cloud portal. Company's storage part will be there on the cloud portal. Company's container part will be there on the cloud portal. The applications, server level applications means the server applications will be hosted on the cloud platform. Then the security part will be there on the cloud portal. User part, IAM part, means all the user, all the groups accounts that will be there on the cloud portal. So you will be managing this part. Then backup also, backup and monitoring part means the backup of servers. You will be managing the backup of server as well, whatever servers are available on the cloud. Suppose the company is very big and they have 500 servers. Then the responsibility of 500 servers, if they are on the AWS, will be of cloud administrator. Then the monitoring part also. Monitoring means if any server is getting up or down, if any link is down on the server level, on the network level, on the cloud, if any resource utilization is becoming very high, suppose server is using very high level of CPU, server is using a very high level of bandwidth. So this kind of monitoring part also comes under the cloud people. So whatever resources are there on the AWS portal, you will be managing all these platforms. If any deployment comes, if company says that we want to create a new server in the company, we want to create one of the DHCP server for our new site, that will be your responsibility if that is on the AWS portal. If any issue comes on these levels, suppose any cloud backup is getting failed, the troubleshooting will be your job. If any server is down on the cloud end, not inside, suppose someone is saying that my Linux server, the server inside my Linux is not working. Like suppose there is a DHCP server in the Linux and that DHCP is not working, or there is a DHCP server in the Windows infrastructure and that DHCP is not working. So that is not your job. You will not be troubleshooting this part. This part will be done by the server administrator. If someone is saying that my Active Directory server is down, it is not accessible. So again, that is not your part, because that's the issue with the server. What will be your part? So server will be available on the cloud. If someone is saying that I am not able to access that particular server, if the server connection gets failed, if we are not able to access the server from the console, if server is showing down from the backend, so this is your task. So if any issue comes on the portal level, on the cloud level, then that is going to be your task. If any issue is coming inside the server, that is not your task. Just like this is one of the server, and inside this server, there is a DHCP running. So if any issue comes in the DHCP, then that is not your task. That will be handled by the server team. So specifically, you will be handling the server roles, the cloud roles. It is not limited to server. It is networking as well. It can be storage as well. There will be containers as well. There will be business applications hosted on the cloud as well. Security part you will be managed. Not high level of security, but security here means permissions. Permissions to cloud users and cloud groups. That is called IAM, Identity and Access Management. What kind of users can access what kind of servers, what level of permissions they will have on the server, what softwares on the server they can access, what database they can access, what container they can access, how much permission you would like to give them, what is going to be the limitation. So you will be handling this kind of role as well. So you will be handling the complete infrastructure part. in the beginning, we have discussed about the infrastructure as a service. So initially you will be handling the infrastructure part and some PaaS services as well, some platform as a services as well. Mostly in the initial level, for at least 1 or 2 years, you will be handling the complete infrastructure, the servers, the networking part on the cloud, the storage part on the cloud, the backup part on the cloud, the security part on the cloud, the container part on the cloud, and some form of platform as a service as well. Just like your Bastion, there will be one of the Bastion service, there will be one of the Docker service. We will learn that. So you will be handling these kind of services as well. Even IAM is the part of platform as a service. So some form of PaaS services you will manage, and mostly you will be managing the infrastructure part on the cloud. Then gradually, once your experience becomes higher, then you would be managing the PaaS services on the high end. You will be hardly handling the PaaS services like Kubernetes, the Docker, the orchestration. Then you will be managing the application gateways, application workload containers. Then you will be managing these kind of stuffs. So your job will be on the cloud portal. You will be accessing everything on the cloud portal. This is going to be your task. Linux will be hosted as a server. Windows will be hosted as a server on the cloud portal. So you should be familiar with Windows and Linux part, because if server is down, then the troubleshooting will be your part, because server is hosted on the cloud platform. If server is hosted on the physical hardware, then that is the part of on-premises administrator. But if the server is hosted on the AWS portal, and if it is not coming up, if it is down, then the troubleshooting will be your part. That's the reason you should be familiar with the servers like Linux and Windows, because company will be mostly using these two categories of server. So we will develop the understanding on that. So far, we have developed good understanding on Linux. Now, if someone gives us the Linux, then we would be able to at least operate it. And that is something we have to do. Majorly, our task will be on the AWS, on the portal. Now, let me just give you one of the refresher again. So let's start. Let me just give you to the flashback. So far we have discussed all these things in our starting sessions. We have discussed about the on-premises infrastructure. Then we have already discussed about the limitations of the on-premises infrastructure. I have shared these notes with you as well. If you go to the first class or second class, in which session I have shared the notes. So if you go to class number 1, then you would be able to see this PDF. The slide that I am referring here, you would be able to find this in the class number 1 folder. So you can refresh yourself. In the class 2 and class 1, you would be able to see all the basic things regarding the cloud. What is cloud computing? Why company prefers cloud computing? What is on-premises infrastructure? Why the company are moving to clouds? Then what is AWS? So in the class 1 and 2 videos, you would be able to see all such things. Then I think from class 3, we have started Linux. Let me see if not from class 3. Again, like it was started from class number 4, I guess. So you have all the videos so far. So just to refresh your knowledge, because from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start AWS now. It's the time to start AWS. Now we will be working on the portal. So just to refresh your knowledge again, just go through with class number 1, 2, and 3 video. Just like go through with this slide that is there in the class number 1 folder, so that you will again refresh yourself that what is cloud computing, what are the benefits of cloud to the industry. Even I have already taken the doubt session as well. In case you will have any doubt, you can ask anytime. I don't have any issue, but still, I would request you all to go through with this slide, this document, and this video, so that you can refresh yourself. So this cloud service model we have discussed. in on-premises, what is there in infrastructure part, what is there in PaaS part, what is there, and in SaaS part, what is there. So we will be focusing on these two parts, infrastructure as a service and PaaS as a service. Your job will be to manage the infrastructure mostly. For PaaS, once you will have some experience on the real cloud, then you will be gradually working mostly on the PaaS as well. But initially, you will be mostly managing the IaaS, and you can expect that 25% of the PaaS services you are going to manage. SaaS you will not manage. SaaS is a different thing that is managed by the Office 365 people, the SAP administrator, SAP administrator, HANA administrator. So SAP is not managed by the cloud people. That is a altogether different field. Cloud people only manage IaaS and PaaS part in the company, whatever their level is. It's like in my company, I manage the hybrid cloud environment. I work on the multi-tenancy. So I manage Azure and AWS environment. Apart from that, as I told you that I am the part of DevOps team, I am the solution architect in my company. So I handle the Kubernetes, OpenShift, Docker as a cluster. This is something I handle in my current company. So I have Azure exposure in the real world, AWS exposure in the real world, automation, because I'm the part of DevOps. So in automation, we use Terraform, Ansible. So I have the exposure of automation as well. Then we also provide support on Kubernetes, OpenShift and OpenStack platform. And the engine that we use is Docker and Packer. So that is a PaaS level of thing. That is a high level of things. Gradually, you will understand about these terms in future. So the deployment model we have already discussed. There are 4 deployment model. Cloud can be deployed as private cloud. It can be deployed as public cloud. It can be deployed as hybrid. It can be deployed as community cloud. So in the company, generally, when we talk about the real cloud, so cloud can be deployed as a public cloud, which is AWS, Azure, and GCP. And it can be deployed as hybrid. Hybrid means the combination of two, means on-premises plus cloud or on-premises plus 2 or more cloud. Community cloud, nobody uses. That was a college project. So in the real environment, you will not see any community cloud. And the private cloud is just like your on-premises infrastructure, where they are using the virtualization through VMware, through Hyper-V, or through Oracle OCI. So this is not a complete cloud model. This is just like your on-premises environment. These two are the cloud models, public and hybrid. But yes, for the interview perspective and for the understanding perspective, you will have to remember these three: private, public, and hybrid. This is very important. Nobody is going to ask you what is community cloud in the interview, but they can ask you the difference among private, public, and hybrid. Then these are the types of public cloud. We have Microsoft Azure, we have AWS, we have GCP, we have IBM Cloud. Apart from these, we have another one as well. So these are the big vendors. The vendors which is inside the cloud diagram. These are the very big vendors in the market: Azure, GCP, and AWS. AWS is on the top. It is the first cloud which has highest market share in the world, and it is the first cloud of the world. In the second stack, Microsoft Azure comes. Microsoft Azure has the second position in the market, and it is not very much behind. It is only 10% behind the AWS. GCP is the third largest cloud. It is owned by the Google, but it does not have that much market share, but it is the product of Google. That's the reason it is famous. It has 8% market share in the world, which is very less. Then some companies are using Oracle as well, just like in IBM. IBM uses Azure plus Oracle because they have some Oracle application which is native to Oracle only, that will only work on the Oracle cloud. So Oracle cloud name is OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So some company who is using the Oracle applications, Oracle softwares, they might be using the Oracle cloud as well. Just like in IBM, they have the Oracle cloud. I have worked on this cloud. I was not working with the IBM, but I have worked on this cloud because we have given the support to IBM as well as a technical support engineer earlier. It was like 3 years back. So I have worked on this Oracle cloud as well, but not that much. Like I have worked on the basic level of this console. because that time I had started my cloud journey like 3.5 years back or something. IBM Cloud is also famous, but mostly it is used in the IBM projects. Alibaba Cloud is also there. It is used in China heavily. There is Salesforce Cloud as well, which is used by the company who is using the Salesforce application. If the company have the Salesforce software, then they are using the Salesforce Cloud as well. But these are the small vendors. These are not very big vendors in the market. Big one is AWS, Azure, and GCP. These three are the leaders. Apart from these, there are some another vendors as well, like SingleHop, HP, Firehose, Force.com, GoGrid, VMware also have their cloud known as Tanzu, TN, Jedu, SoftLayer, Rackspace. It is a company which is there in Delhi NCR, and this company is from German, and they have their own cloud which is called Rackspace. So I have worked in this company for 2 months. Then I left this organization. After 2 months, I got actually some good opportunity. So like in 2019, I have worked with this company for at least 2 months only. So this is also good cloud, but it is only used by small companies. The big multinational companies are not using their cloud. Startup companies have this cloud as well. But again, the market leaders are these three. But at least apart from these three, you should know another names as well. Because in interview, if the interviewer is asking you how like what kind of public clouds we have available in the market, and if you know these kind of names like Oracle Cloud is also there, IBM Cloud is also there, then the interviewer may assume that you have the experience. At least you know what the infrastructure of the company looks like. So just remember these names. You don't have to remember all the names, but at least 2 to 3 names apart from these three leaders you should be able to cram. What is public cloud? It is written here. In case you will have any doubt, you can refer the old video, and you can ask me as well. I will again explain. What is private cloud? You should know the differences among these three: hybrid, public, and private. And what are the examples of hybrid, public, and private? You should also know about this. Just like these are the public cloud example, and these are the private cloud example. OpenStack, OpenShift, Hyper-V, Tanzu, VMware, these are the private cloud examples. And in the hybrid cloud, you will see both the things: on-premises plus cloud. So any cloud plus physical environment, the on-premises environment. Then community cloud, if you will not remember, it is not going to impact your interviews. Just for your knowledge, you can learn this. Then what are some of the benefits of AWS over any other cloud? At least you should know 3 to 4. So these are very good definitions, very good statements as per the market standards. So you can use this one, because in Google you will find very basic differences, but this is the actual technical differences why company prefers the AWS. So this has already been done in the initial classes, in the starting classes. But again, as we are going to start our AWS, so we should be familiar with all these terms again. So this is there in your class 1 and 2 folder. So you can refer it. In case there are some students who have joined late, there are any student who has joined the late, like they have joined in mid of the Linux. If they don't have the first or second class videos, then I'm sharing the link again for everyone's reference. So in that link, every video is available. So far, whatever we have learned, all the documents, all the videos are already available there. So you can refer this, and in case if there is any doubt, you can ask me anytime during the session. I don't have any issue to tell you. So let me share the link again. It is, which one is this? Evision.Rajesh. So AWS weekend, this one. So on 4th of March, we have started our session. It's been 4th of April and 4th of May. So it's been 2 months since we have started the session. So this is the link of the parent directory. I am sharing it with you. Google has changed their interface. It is looking very different now. So I'm putting it in the chat box for your reference. This is the parent directory link. You can check the videos and the documents from here. Don't delete anything from this parent directory. You can download this. You have the full access. So in case you want to download anything, you can download it. You can download the document. You can download the video. Downloading rights have been given to you, but don't delete anything from here because you have the full control. If you will delete anything, then it will be deleted from the main directory. Although I have the backup as well, I keep the backup in my local system as well, but if you will delete it, then other members will not be able to access it. So better option would be download it and keep it safe in your system. So before starting the AWS console part, just refresh this one. This will not take much time. You have tomorrow's time, like you have afternoon time. You can understand these concepts. You can go through with this slide. You can read it. You can understand about cloud, the basic fundamental things, so that it would be very easy for you to again connect with the AWS principles. In case you don't understand anything, you can come and discuss with me. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. So now let me know if you have any doubt from the previous session, any question, or if you did not get any time to practice the Linux part, just do it, because at the end of the session, it would be very difficult for you to understand the things. So the AWS part will take around 10 to 12 sessions to get completed. Then we will go with the Terraform. It will take 4 to 5 sessions along with Windows as well, and along with Windows Server as well. So your course will be completed then. So from tomorrow onwards, we can successfully start our AWS. I think you guys already have created your AWS portal, right? In the beginning, you might have created that. Kiya tha?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So some of you already have the AWS portal. Some of you don't have. In case you don't have, you can create it again. It's very simple. Just go to Google and type AWS free tier account. Just type this one. There will be link. Start with a free tier account for Amazon Web Services. Just click on that. Then create an AWS account. Just click here or here. Here also you can click create a free account. And you can use your Gmail ID. You can give any name. Any name. Name means test account. You can give the name of eVision as well. You can give your own name as well. So here you need to type your registered email ID. Registered email ID means any Gmail ID can be here. So you can type any Gmail ID. Here you can type any name. It will just reflect like your account name. So you can type anything here and you can click on verify email address. Once you will click on verify email address, a code will be sent to your email ID that you will enter here. You need to enter that code. Then it will ask you to fill the description like the name, the card details. So as I told you in the beginning, you can create the AWS portal through debit card and credit card as well. So it is going to charge you 1 or 2 rupees from your card just to check whether the card is valid or not. After 15 days, it will refund back that money as well. So hardly it will charge you 1 or 2 rupees from your card that will be deducted and it will be refunded back within 15 days. It was just to check whether the card is valid or not. So you can use this, any of this. The card should be Visa enabled. It should be Visa card. It should not be Rupee. Rupee card will not be acceptable. Visa card is acceptable and Mastrio card will be acceptable. Mastrio and Visa. And in case you are facing any issue while creating the AWS account, make sure your international transaction should be enabled. International transaction in the sense, your card should support the international transaction because AWS is US company. So if you don't know, you can go to the net banking app and you can check. Otherwise, you can call to your bank's customer care number and you can check if you face any issue while creating the AWS account. Even you can also discuss with me. You can screen share with me and I will help you if you will have any issue while the creation of AWS portal. Sometimes after creating the portal, it takes 2 or 3 days to get activated. So we will have to wait for that duration. If that happens, just give me 1 second. So just try to create your account, whomsoever is pending. I think a couple of people are pending, 1 or 2 or 3 to 4 people may be pending. So just try to create the account. In case you will have any difficulty, you can discuss. I will help you. This account will be valid for 1 year. The free account provided by AWS will be valid for 1 year. For entire 1 year, you can use the account. You can do your practicals. You can understand the things. You can learn the AWS. No charges, nothing. It will be free of cost. In Azure, it is valid for 1 month. But some of the services are also valid for 1 year in the Azure. But the complete portal access will be valid for 1 month. But in AWS, it will be valid for 1 year. And some of the services will be valid for 3 years. Like some limited services after 1 year, some limited services will be available for 3 years. But for 1 year, you will get all the service. So it is good. It is very good. Even for 1 year, you can do your practical in future. You can learn more on the AWS portal. So just create your AWS account. It is easy. Just like you need to enter the details here. In case you have any doubt, you can refer my old videos. Just go to the beginning videos, 1, 2, 3, or 4. These 4 sessions, I have discussed how to create the AWS account. Even I have also shown you how to create it. So just refer the startings video. In case you face any issue, you are not able to create the account, then you can come to me. I will help you on the screen share. So just be ready with your AWS account. What are the things that is required for the next session? Be ready with the AWS account. That is the first thing. The second thing is be ready with the cloud fundamentals and terms. So you can go to class number 1 and you can refer this particular file. You can learn this. You can watch the video for class number 1, 2, or 3. Then you would be able to refresh it. So these 2 things are good enough. Then Linux, you can practice gradually. I will not ask you to practice the Linux overnight because it will take time. So gradually, dire dire, you can practice the Linux. but at least you should be in a condition to work on the Linux part. User accounts you can learn gradually, you can practice gradually. Group accounts you can practice gradually. The permission part you can practice gradually, but at least file folder copy pasting, that should be clear to you. So you cannot complete the Linux overnight. Whatever I had told you so far, you can do that. So Saturday classes was for doubt, but for Sunday you can watch the videos. In some sessions, I have also taken the session on Saturday as well for the main sessions. So watch all the recordings where you will found the doubt session. You can cancel that video, mostly for Saturdays. You can skip that videos. But in case if you find any main video on Saturday as well, if I have started any new topic, then you can also refer that. So just look into that, understand the Linux, work on it. Now we will work on the Linux and the Windows server on AWS portal. We will deploy these services on the AWS part. So be ready with
Sir,
these three things. Yes.
सर अभी अगर टाइम हो तो
हम्म।
हम थोड़ा सूडो पार्ट और फाइन सर्वर को देख सकते हैं।
क्या देखना है सूडो में बताओ।
सूडो आप कह रहे थे
अच्छा,
बताने
सूडो
के लिए।
पेंडिंग रह गया ना हमारा। ठीक है, सूडो में बता दूंगा तुम लोगों को, बट मैं पोर्टल पे बताऊंगा आप सीधा।
ठीक है।
उसी
और सर
उसी पे
एक
लाइनक्स डिप्लॉय करके बता दूंगा।
हाँ हाँ सर, और एक वाइन सर्वर की आप अगर
हाँ, वो मैं लाइनक्स तभी बताऊंगा। अभी मैंने मॉडरेट लेवल पे कराया ना, मैं उस पोर्टल पे भी कराऊंगा। वो मैंने ऑन प्रीमाइसेस पे इसलिए कराया था क्योंकि हमें AWS का कोई आइडिया था नहीं खास अभी। तो अब मैं वो चीजें कराऊंगा, बट मैं पोर्टल पे कराऊंगा अब, सो दैट यू विल बी फेमिलियर विद द पोर्टल एज वेल, दैट हाउ टू वर्क ऑन द AWS portal. So we will deploy the Linux on AWS now, and we will start working on the practical part. So I know even we have to do the yum server, the wine server, sudo permission, but that we will do on the AWS portal so that we can have the familiarity that how we are going to create the Azure, how we are going to create the Linux part on the AWS portal and how we can access that. Because on the cloud, the Linux will look different. There will be no graphic user interface on the cloud. There will be just a black shell, and the access method will be also different. If you talk about the AWS Linux, then the access method will be different. The user account will be different. Command will be same, but some of the tricks, some of the syntax will be different. So that's the reason I have skipped one or two servers, one or two services, or the yum server and wine is pending, so that I could tell you on the cloud. इसलिए मैंने skip करके रखा था अभी. Otherwise I could have completed that on the on-premises Linux as well. वो मैंने जानबूझ के रोक रखा है अभी. So we will do it. Don't worry. I remember all the thing. Even you have the video recordings as well. You can use it. So now let me know any doubt, any question, anything. कुछ है तो पूछ लो. Otherwise I will
Sir,
not.
I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if a person is working as an AWS, if he want to become a multi-cloud, then in this case, he has to learn Azure and Google, sir, to become an
You want to work on multi-cloud?
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah. Okay. See, if the person wants to work on multi-tenancy model, then again it depends in the company what level of cloud they are using as a multi-tenancy. Multi-tenancy means multiple clouds they are using. So in multi-cloud, suppose they are using AWS and Azure. Now it depends whether they are using Azure as a primary cloud. If Azure is the primary cloud, it means they will be heavily using the Azure. They will be mostly using the Azure, and AWS will be the secondary. So there will be limited services on the AWS. So if that is the case, then you need to learn Azure more, AWS less. But if they are using AWS as a primary cloud, then you will have to learn AWS more and Azure less. So this happens. So in multi-tenancy, you need to learn multiple cloud. But if you know any one of the public cloud, it would be very easy for you to learn another cloud, because the fundamentals are going to remain same. Only the services will be different. In AWS, we call server as EC2. In Azure, we call it as VM. In AWS, we call the user and access management console as IAM. In Azure, we call it as Azure Active Directory. This is the difference. The name terminology will be the different. There will be some different services as well. But yes, if you are very much clear with a single cloud, then it would be very easy for you to learn the next cloud as well. So the things are not very much different. Fundamentals will be same. Terminologies, the concept are going to remain same. But yes, there can be some additional services, but their fundamental also be the same. Just like there is a Bastion service in AWS, it is also there in Azure. So fundamental is going to be same. EC2 VM, they have the same fundamental. Even storage account in AWS, they called this as Aurora. And in Azure, they call it as a storage account. In Azure, actually, the name is very generic. It is general name. Just like for server, they are calling it as virtual machine. For storage, they are directly calling it as a storage account. But in AWS, they have some difficult name, the critical names: Aurora, EC2, Banstock, Elastic Banstock. So they have the name like Linux. But yes, the part is same. So in case you want to work on multi-cloud in future, you will have to learn multiple clouds. But it would be very easy. If you are good in one cloud, then your efforts will not be 100% on the next cloud. You can easily learn it within 40% efforts. So I know 2 cloud, AWS and Azure. I don't know GCP now. GCP नहीं आता मेरे को. I don't work on that as well. उसमें भी job भी बहुत कम है. So this is something. In future, if you want to become solution architect, then in solution architect, there are again 2 levels. If you specifically want to become the solution architect for AWS, then you will have to become the expert in the AWS. If you want to become the solution architect on Azure, then you will have to become the expert on the Azure part. You should know the Azure security, the Azure administration part, Azure PaaS services part, Azure container part, Azure DevOps part, because you will have to give the solution to the client. Same thing happens on the AWS. If you are the architect of AWS, then you will have to be expert on the AWS part. So for solution architect, the expert level of cloud knowledge would be required. And in order to become the solution architect, at least you should have 7+ years of experience in the complete IT, not in cloud, in the complete IT. And you should have sound level of knowledge, plus good communication skills, the good presentation skills as well. So that is altogether a different field. Gradually, we will talk about it. Initially, you will be working as an administrator.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, one more doubt.
Yes.
How to delete host name in Linux, sir?
Host name.
Yeah.
Host name cannot be deleted. Host name is not a deletable thing because that's the computer name. You can change it, you cannot delete it. In Windows also, you cannot delete any host name. See, if you go to the this PC property, this is my host name. This is the device name. So device name is the host name. So in case if I open my CMD as well, and if I type host name here in Windows, the command is also same, host name. And my host name is what? PROD. So same thing here, you can see PROD. So it is not deletable thing. It can be changed. In case you want to change your computer name in Windows, what you do? You go to rename this PC. Then you can, current name is PROD. You can give a new name and you can click on next, finish. It's in Windows 11. In Linux, you can also change it. The command is host name space new name. Suppose the current name is PROD and you want to change it in Linux. You want to give your name. So host name space your name, then enter. So you can change it, but you cannot delete it because that's the computer name.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So host name space new name that you want to give.
Okay,
That will change your host name.
Yeah, if we want to edit, just we have to put host name space new name, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, sir.
So that will help you to edit the current host name, but you cannot delete that completely.
Okay, sir.
So
Any
what is
further
the
questions?
designation that we get after this course?
This is going to be the designations. So where is this? These kind of designations you will get. AWS admin, cloud admin, system admin of cloud, cloud engineer, system engineer of cloud, cloud analyst. Then there can be cloud operations engineer. These kind of designations will be there depending upon company to company. But yes, any one of this you can expect. इनमें से कोई भी. Okay.
Thank
Any
you, sir.
doubt? But don't ask me the salary. Still, I'm not clear about the salary part for freshers. So that question will go to the placement team. वो उनसे पूछ लेना. बाकी technical things you can ask, career related things you can ask from me. I will
Sir,
answer.
sir will be selected as a fresher for AWS.
See, nobody is going to hire you as a fresher. Your current experience where you are working in the technology job, that will be counted. Plus, in case if the company says that we need the candidate on the AWS experience, then again, Evision will have to mention the experience of AWS in your current company role. What maybe what we can do, if the company says that we need the person who should have the exposure on AWS portal, on the AWS platform, then maybe we are going to use your current company, but some job responsibilities may be modified as per the requirement. Otherwise, the same job responsibility, if the company accept your current position, service desk engineer, desktop engineer, the same responsibility will be written. But if company needs some exposure on the AWS as well, then company name will be same, but job responsibilities will be add on. Apart from your current role, there may be some add on in your current company job responsibilities and KRA. So fresher, this will be very challenging. Even I would say there are no chances for fresher to get into the cloud role because that is specifically a technology role. So again, the thing, the internship experience, well, internship experience will not work here. Here, your real company experience will be there, but we have to discuss it like a AWS administrator. We have to add on some AWS responsibility as part of your additional responsibility in the current job. Like whatever you are doing, we will twist it in such a way that it will sound like that you have worked on some form of AWS services. So that is going to be the thing. Placement team is going to take care of that. Your resume will be modified by them. Once the course is about to get finished, then they will start working on your resume part. JD, I will clarify to you what is going to be your job description, what you will say in the interview introduction, what level of troubleshooting you used to do, what answer you will have to give. That I will train you. That training I will give you. Like how will you discuss your job responsibility in the introduction part? What kind of issues you have faced apart from your current role? How do you troubleshoot that? So that I will give you the training for. But the resume creation part, the addition part, that will be managed by the Evision backend team. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
So don't worry
how
about the
much
interview.
experience can be considered for the solutions architects?
Minimum 7 years. At least you should have 7 years of total IT experience. And on cloud, at least you should have like minimum. I'm talking about minimum. On cloud, you should have at least 4 to 5 years of experience. Minimum. Maximum, like I have seen the people mostly in the industry, the person who have 10 plus years of experience, they become the solution architect actually, because they have worked on different technology. They have worked on networking, they have worked on server, then they have worked on cloud part, then somehow they have worked on DevOps part as well. Then they become the solution architect. But nowadays, what the candidates are doing, candidate is working in a company on cloud platform or DevOps platform. Suppose they are a quick learner. Suppose the candidate is a good quick learner, then they do the global certification courses. They clear the global certification as well. Nowadays, this is going to be the trend. This is happening in the market actually. So they read very thoroughly, they clear the global certification, they have the advanced knowledge, even they are working in the industry as well. They are the quick learner, they have good grasping power. So they are becoming the architect within 7 years as well. So this is also possible, but yes, there are mostly the person becomes the architect after 10 years of experience into IT, because architect is equivalent to manager. The IT manager and the solution architect both have the same band. There is a band in company, level 1, level 2, level 3 kind of thing. Band 1, band 2, band 3. So every company have different structure of band. Even you also have got one of the band in the company. So the architect is equivalent to your IT manager. They both are working on L5. They have level 5 band. Then the senior solution architect have the L6 band. It is equivalent to the senior IT manager. So both the positions are in the same band. Their salary payout is also good. I am on the architect position, but I am not senior architect. I am on level 5, the solution architect. And I recently became the architect last year. Like in architect, I have around 1.2 months of experience in the architect. I got my architect job in last year only. In cloud, I am in the cloud since last, I think it's been more than, like I am about to complete my total 5.5 years in the cloud. I have around 5.5 years of total experience into cloud, and in total IT, I have more than 8 years. It's like around currently it would be having around 8.5 or 6 years something in the IT. 8.5 साल से ऊपर in that complete IT. In cloud, it would be around 5.5 years something. And solution architect job I got last year only. Last year I cracked the interview of solution architect because interview was good. I had the knowledge of different verticals. I had different certifications as well. So is वजह से I was able to crack it. And since I am working as a part-time trainer also, so the concept is there in my mind. हमें practice होती है पढ़ा के ना. We are habitual of the things. So that's the reason we can give the answer in a more clarified way. And solution architect demands this kind of knowledge that you can present yourself in a good manner. So this is an advantage. So I got it. But yes, you can become minimum 7 years of experience would be required for the current market standard. In future, maybe once your time will come, maybe the things will get changed. Because आजकल तो everything has become fast. So maybe in your time, everything will be changed. Now in future, I am thinking that Chat GPT is going to take over. Chat GPT भी आ गया है. So that is also going to become the high demanding technology in future. Just like Kubernetes was in 3 years back. So technology is going to get changed. Cloud will be there for at least 10 years from now on. अभी ज़्यादा famous हुआ है. So company have just started 5 years back during the COVID time. Actually, most of the companies, small, big, they have started to migrate their infra on cloud during the COVID time mostly, because during the COVID time, the small companies were not able to sustain. So cloud became very famous during the COVID time. Earlier it was there, but big companies was using that. But now it has become the need of small startups as well. So it will be there in the market. Like there will be high demand of cloud for at least 10 years. जैसे सर्वर की अभी तक है, VMware की अभी तक है. VMware is still very famous in the market in the on-premises. Windows Server is still famous in the market in the on-premises, even though it's been since 1998. So it's been more than like 20 years. So cloud will be there for at least 10 years. Very famous, very demanding. Otherwise, cloud will be there, but maybe the demand can get reduced in the future after 10 years. There may be different technology, things will get changed. There will be we don't know what is going to be the future. Artificial intelligence may take over. तब तक फिर हमें कुछ नया सीखना पड़ेगा. Just like I used to work on Windows Server earlier. Then I switched my job on Linux administration. So I worked on Windows and Linux in my starting journeys. Then I got VCP job, VMware EXSI server. Then I got the opportunity to work on Azure. Gradually with Azure, I got the platform to work on AWS. Then I got the platform to work on Kubernetes. So gradually you will get the platform once the things will get changed. Company will deliver the training. Even you can also do it with your own if company is not doing it. So time to time you will have to keep yourself updated because we don't know the future. In IT, anything can be happen. IT is very vast field. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Sir, one more doubt. These designations that you have mentioned,
Mhm.
what would be the band of these?
Band depends upon company to company. Like the level I can specify you, that will be L1 or L2. In cloud, that will be L1 and L2. Because L3 level is given to the person who works as a PaaS administrator. Like the person who works as a senior administrator of cloud, that person gets the designation of L3, the lead engineer, we can say, the lead SME, subject matter expert. So here you will get level 1 and level 2 in the cloud. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, and again, after becoming a cloud engineer, how much experience would it be easy to become a DevOps engineer?
For DevOps, you should have the good exposure on cloud, at least 1 year. After 1 year, you can apply for the DevOps role. You can mention in your current job that actually you will have to do some trick. If you will say that I have never worked on DevOps, you know the DevOps, you have done the courses, but if you will say that I have never worked on DevOps, I have worked on AWS only, then company will not give you the job. So you will have to mention the mixed kind of thing, because cloud admins all can mention it. Cloud admin can say that I have worked on cloud mostly, and we are also supporting the DevOps things, but not on advanced level. So you can mention some basic DevOps, like you are working on Git, you are working on the Git part, you are working on the Ansible part, you are working on some Terraform automation. Kubernetes will be very advanced level thing. So if you have learned it, then you can mention, otherwise don't mention that. So you will have to mention the DevOps role as well in your current cloud job. Then only company is going to entertain you for the DevOps profile. If you will say that I have only worked on cloud, but I have the knowledge of DevOps, then company will not hire you, because they also need the experienced people in DevOps. Actually in IT, everyone needs the experienced people. So after 1 year, just get the job in cloud, gradually learn the DevOps part, because DevOps part is not very easy to learn. It takes time to master on it. Course is of 3 months. Within 2 or 3 months, you can do the courses. You can very well learn the DevOps part, but again, to master it, to familiarize with the real environment, it would take 1 year. So just work on the cloud for 1 year. In case you are a fast learner, then within 6 to 7 months, you can apply for the DevOps role. But minimum, at least you should give your 1 year in the company, because there will be very new technology for you. In desktop support, in service desk, you have worked, and that is not a very big thing actually. That is not very big thing. That is a support level role. But in the admin role, at least you should give your 1 year, so that you can understand the real infrastructure, how the infrastructure works actually, how the thing happens in the company. So if you are good, you can switch it within 6 to 7 months. Otherwise, if you want to give time, just give your 1 year, then apply for the DevOps role. But meanwhile, you will have to learn the DevOps, because in DevOps also on regular basis, there are new changes going on. The rapid changes are going on in the DevOps. Okay. And for DevOps, be very good in Linux. Linux is the base for DevOps. Not on very advanced level, but at least whatever I told you, like user creation, group part, file folder management, the permission part should be very good. So at least you should be good with this, because most of the DevOps automation will happen through the Linux. Most of the means 95% of the automation work will happen through the Linux. So you should know how to operate the Linux OS. Just like you know how to operate the window. In window, if I ask you to do anything, you can do. If I ask you to copy paste anything, to change the background, to change some setting, so you can do that because you have the exposure on window. So same thing should be there with the Linux. If I ask you how to install any software, how to uninstall anything, what is there in that location, I want to check what is there in that directory. So you should be in a condition to check all these things. So in order to learn the DevOps part, in order to work on DevOps, there should be sound understanding of the Linux. Then in future, initial level, it is not required to learn the programming. At least in order to earn around 14 lakh of package, it is not required to learn the programming. But if you want to earn more than 14 lakh rupees, then you will have to learn the scripting part. Scripting. And in order to understand the scripting, you should understand the algorithms, the programming structure. So you will have to learn any of the programming language, not on advanced level. Just do the course, understand how the programming works, how the syntax works, how the algo works. So Python is easy to learn, and Python is very famous in the DevOps world. So you can pick Python if you want to earn more. Python, in order to understand the Python for non-developer background people, it would take around 6 months. So 6 महीने लग जाएंगे. If you are from BTech, CS, BCA, if you know the fundamentals of programming, then it will hardly take one or 2 months. But for non-programming people, zero background in the programming, it would take 6 months. Then you can understand the scripting, the automation part. Then you can earn more. Then you can expect more salary, the fatty package, depending upon your knowledge plus experience. So for DevOps, Linux command is very much required. Any of the public cloud you can pick. If you are in AWS, then definitely you will pick AWS. If you are on Azure, then definitely you will pick your Azure part. So any public cloud plus scripting knowledge. And in order to learn the scripting, you should be familiar with the programming fundamentals. Means nobody is going to ask you to write any code in the company, but you will be troubleshooting the issues in the code. If the code is not working on the deployment part, if any software is failing, if it gets failed, the code is not successful, it is not executed. So you should be in a condition to read the code. So you will not write the code, actually, you will read the code and understand the issues. That's the reason they will ask you for one of the programming language knowledge. So gradually you will have to learn the programming knowledge, programming language as well in future. In initial level, these three things are okay. So scripting, then you can do your DevOps course. In DevOps course, there are multiple tools. Whatever is famous in the market that time, if you will do it after 1 year, then after 1 year, whatever is good tool in the market, you will have to learn that tool. Don't go with the obsolete courses. Just like nowadays, TeamCity has become very famous. Git and TeamCity. So TeamCity, if you know, your chances of hiring will be good in DevOps. Ansible is very famous. OpenShift, Kubernetes, that is very famous in the world. So whatever is the latest tool, just go with that. Terraform, that is again very famous tool in the DevOps world. So whenever you will do the course, go with the latest tool. If you will be good, there are actually 35 plus tools. Some are big, some are of the low level. But if you will master 4 to 5 tools only, along with this 4 to 5 tools plus these things, then you will switch into DevOps. You will get the job in DevOps with a good package. Suppose your current package is 6 lakh, then in DevOps you can expect 10 lakh. 10 lakh, if you are very good, you can expect more, but it is not that much easy as you are thinking. To be very good on Linux, it takes time. It takes practice. To be very good on scripting part, it takes time. And DevOps courses are based on Linux. So again, to understand this one also, it takes time. So that's the reason I told you 1 year. इसलिए मैंने 1 साल कहा. Because in order to understand, course will get finished within 3 months. But in order to get familiarized with all these things, in order to do the practical, it will take at least time. Because in DevOps interview, the interviewer will ask you to share the screen and write the syntax. They will ask you to write any YAML file, because there are people who just do the ratta kind of thing nowadays. That is called cramming, ratta mara, and pass the interview. So in DevOps, what they do, they will ask you to share the screen. They will ask you to write the syntax. They can say that please write the YAML for Kubernetes. So if you are a ratta kind of person, then you will not be able to clear that interview. If you are globally certified in the DevOps tool, then they will only ask you the question, because there is no jugaad kind of thing in the DevOps certification. Just like Kubernetes is not a jugaad, you will have to pass the exam with your own. So that's the reason, if you are not certified, they will ask you to present the screen and write the syntax, write the automation. So DevOps is hard thing in order to crack the interviews for the fresher, but it is possible for the person who have studied well and they know what to study at the right time. In the cloud job, again, it is not very easy to crack the interview, but if you are practicing enough, if you have worked on the practical part, it would be very easy for you, because theoretical part will be very less in the interview. They will mostly ask you the scenario based questions. What questions will be asked, how that has to be answered, that I will train you. Don't worry on that part. It would be very easy. Cloud job will be easy for you. You will get it. DevOps is not that much easy to get without any real cloud experience. Understood? So
Yes,
अभी
yes.
cloud की job ले लो, then DevOps
Yeah,
भी मिल जाएगी. DevOps का trend चल रहा है. There is a hiring going on. Good hiring is going on. So पढ़ लेना उसको भी. Once you will get the cloud job, then learn the DevOps, then you will get it. धीरे धीरे पढ़ लेना, अपने आप ही मिल जाएगी. So we have 14 candidates, including me. From tomorrow onwards, I will check with the admin team for the attendance as well. Is there anyone who is from South as well? South का कोई? Anyone from the South? South India?
Yes, sir. Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Andhra
I'm
Pradesh,
Telangana.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Because
Karnataka,
because I was using Hindi in between as well.
कोई
Yes, sir.
दिक्कत नहीं सर, समझ में आ जाते.
No, actually I can use full
Samaj.
English as well, but I thought that there is no one in the session from the South, because it is not mentioned. That's the reason I
Sir,
was
some
using
of
Hindi in
them will
between.
not understand Hindi, sir, including me.
What?
We don't, some of them will not understand Hindi.
Yeah, that's the reason I was asking that is there any South person, because in this attendance I cannot see any, only I can see one thing. Dinesh is from Hyderabad. Otherwise, yeah, now Sandeep is also reflecting from Hyderabad. That's the reason I was asking, because some of you candidate, your name also does not look like South Indian. It's like this Shikha, Neelam. So that's the reason I was asking. So I will not use Hindi now. वैसे मैं इतनी हिंदी यूज नहीं करता. I don't use that much Hindi, but still I will not use it. In case you will have any doubt, you can ask. If you did not understand any point, just ask me. I will answer. For the people who don't understand Hindi, agar if any point is missed, they can ask. Well, I don't think that will be there, because I have clarified all the things in a very good manner. So we have 14 candidates, including me. It means we have 13% in the session. Maybe couple of people are absent. I will check with the admin. I will get the name and I will take out the attendance, because from tomorrow we have to start our main topic, AWS 1. So I cannot afford any absenteeism now. So Just do
Sir,
the practice. Yes.
Sir, can you tell me the difference between tilde and slash location once again? Because I'm getting confused.
Tilde and
And,
slash.
yes, sir.
See, tilde is not a location. If tilde symbol is coming in the Linux, if the tilde symbol is getting represented, it means you are in the home directory. Home directory means suppose you are logged in with Rajesh user account. Rajesh is your user account. You are logged in with this user. And if it is showing the tilde icon, if the tilde mark is showing here, then it means you are in the home directory of Rajesh. Home directory means you are in the profile of Rajesh. In the Linux, what is home directory? In Windows, this one, I am logged in with my account. Now my desktop, my download, my document, my picture. This is called my library. This is called my library in Windows. In Linux, this is called home directory, this one. If I am logged in with the Rajesh user account, so I will have my desktop in the Linux. I will have my download in the Linux. I will have my document folder in the Linux. So that is called home directory in the Linux. Means in Windows, C drive, user, and the username. This is my home directory. Whatever I save in the desktop, that is getting saved here in the desktop location. Where is my desktop location? This one. So all the data which is saved in my desktop, it is saved here. Whatever I download, it is getting saved in my download location. I can check it from here as well. Similarly, in the Linux, this folder structure is called home directory. And the symbol will be tilde. So if you are seeing the tilde symbol along with your username, it means you are logged in and you are currently in the home directory. You are in the home location, means you are in the C drive location. You are in the C drive, you are in the users folder. You are in this area. And in this area, you will find your desktop, you will find your document, your download, everything you will find here. So wherever you want to save your data, you can get into that directory and you can save your important files and folder. So that's the meaning of tilde symbol.
Sir,
Understood?
yes, sir. For every user account, there will be a home directory.
Yes, for every user account, there will be separate home directory. Same thing applies in Windows as well. For every user account, there will be a separate home directory.
Okay.
So if you are seeing the tilde symbol, it means you are in the home location of the user. And the slash defines the condition actually. Condition means if something is written like this, suppose if something is written like rajesh@hcl.com hash, and it is written as desktop bot. If something is written like this, it means you are logged in with the Rajesh user account. Your domain name is hcl.com. You are logged in as root. Hash means you are the root user account and you are in the desktop. In the desktop, slash means condition. In the desktop, you are inside bot folder. If once more slash is applied, it means in the bot, you are inside the bot. Condition slash means path. You are inside the bot. Inside the bot might be there is file 1. So you are inside the file 1. If it is not written like this, if it is written like this, it means you are in the bot folder. In the bot folder, you can see anything. If you will type ls, so whatever is there in the bot folder, you would be able to see that. So slash means the location condition where you currently exist. If I want to get into my desktop, inside my desktop, there is F1 folder. Inside my F1 folder, there is F2 folder. Inside my F2 folder, there is Baba file. So if I write something like this, it means we are in desktop. Inside desktop, we are in F1. We want to define the condition. Inside F1, there is F2. Inside F2, there is Baba file. So that's the meaning of slash. Slash means your path, the condition. Just like in Windows, what we do, why we use ipconfig/all? Because we want to define the condition that I want to see each and everything related to IP config. I want to see what all contents are available inside the IP config command. That's the reason I use slash. And what I want to see all. So I am defining the condition that whatever things are available for IP config, just show me all. So that's the reason we enter IP config slash all, that I want to check all. I am defining the condition. If I don't use slash all, it will only show me the limited thing. It will only show me IP, subnet mask and gateway. But if I will apply the condition that related to IP config, I want to see all. It means everything related to my IP, my MAC address, my network adapter name, my IP version 6 address, IP version 4 address, my IP subnet mask, DHCP ID, my lease time, lease expiry, my gateway address, my DNS address, everything it will reflect. So that's the meaning of forward slash, the condition. Now understood?
Yes, sir. So for root location, for root account also there will be a home directory, sir.
Yes, for root also there will be home directory.
Okay, sir. Understood.
For every user there will be home directory. And the location of the home directory is this slash home. Slash means the root point. Inside the root point, there will be home kind of folder, home directory. Inside home directory, you can see all the user account folder. If Rajesh is the user account, you can see that. If Sumit is the user account, you can see that also. You can enter into these folders and you can see the desktop, the document, the download, all the libraries. So every user will have their own home directory, which is inside the slash home location. Now understood?
Yes, sir. Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Any further doubt for anyone?
Sir, when I was practicing, I was not able to see any directory for root user, sir, root account. Then I created desktop thing for root.
You would be able to see what you need to do.
LS.
Just if you are logged in with the root account, just simply type cd space slash home, then enter. Then you will be inside the home directory. If you will do ls there, then you would be able to see the desktop and all. Even if you don't type the home, because you are logged in with the root, so you don't have to type the home as well. You can simply do cd space / and enter. And if you will do ls, then you would be able to see the desktop, document, download, everything. Because you are logged in with the root, so you don't have to mention the home as well. You can directly go to the slash. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, any further questions? I guess no. So okay, let's wrap up the session. I will not proceed further now. Just create your AWS accounts. From tomorrow onwards, we will start our AWS part. It will be on same timing. Not on same timing. Tomorrow I will have to start on 9 PM actually, because tomorrow I have to do some office work. I will be on the fraud activity of hacking. So I will be free by 9. So tomorrow I will have to take the session at 9. So is it okay, or I should take it on 8:30 or something?
It's okay, sir.
So for tomorrow, I will have to take it on 9. Tomorrow, I just got one of the important tasks. Apart from my job, they have just organized my extra shift, my overtime, because of some activity. So tomorrow, I will schedule it for 9 PM. Let's connect tomorrow at 9
The
and
last
let's
one.
start our AWS.
So
Okay.
last one question.
Last what?
Last one question, sir.
Yes, you
Sir,
can ask.
when our course will get completed?
It will be completed by July end.
July.
Yes, May, June, July. Yes, on July end it will be completed.
Okay, from
Means
July.
July will be the end of the session.
From July end, we can start taking calls, sir.
You can start giving interviews after completion of AWS as well.
Okay, sir.
See, on July we will start our Terraform part and our Windows part and our interview preparation part. But our AWS will be completed by June only. So you can start giving the interviews with your own as well. I will help you with the job description. you can use your current company experience and you can start giving the interviews with your own as well. Company, the eVision is going to start the interview once the course is about to get over. It means from July onwards, they are going to start your interview part. But in case if your AWS gets finished, it will be finished by June. So in case you want to try, you can try with your own as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So eVision is going to start it once the course is about to get finished. It means on July.
Okay, sir. Sir, because in many of the companies, the notice period will be for 3 months. I
Yes.
discussed with Anamika. She told to discuss with Ganesh also. So
Yes, Ganesh is leading the placement in eVision. So you can discuss with him how to tackle this kind of situation, how eVision is going to tackle this kind of thing. They would be able to tell you the notice period part. So definitely they would have some good answer, the satisfactory answer for you.
okay,
But
sir.
yes, interview will be started once the course is about to get finished. In case you want to start with your own, after completion of AWS, you can give the try in the market, in the open market.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Okay. Thank you very much. So let's connect tomorrow then. If you still will have any question, you can come up. You are always welcome. So let's connect tomorrow then. I will schedule it again. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye.
Good night, sir.